Oke, standby, kamera ready, sound ready, 3, 2, 1, action.
Pose with the bands. Pose with the pose with the pose with the bands. Pose with the pose with the pose with the bands. Pose with the bands. Pose with the bands. Pose with the pose with the pose with the bands.
Hello everyone, welcome to Mental Health Voice. Have you ever met someone who seemed a little different but you didn't know what you say or do? Maybe a word you would say the word thing or just solve lost for one. Exactly. Sometimes we totally misread people behavior. Today we're talking about something a lot of folks get wrong. People living with mental disorders. I'm really excited for this one. So many of my friends say they're depressed, but is it just a bad mood or is it something more? Great point, Grace. We are to clear of the confused, serious story and keep things honest but also a little light. Mental health is serious, but talking about it doesn't have to be happy all the time. We are also going to hear the inspiring story of Nomi Pratiwi, a mental health hero, and we got there with Hamgas, Nita, Ilma, and Micha. Welcome everyone.
Thank you. Hi everyone, it's great to be here. I'm looking forward to our chat.
Hi Miftah, thanks for joining us. Let's get right into it. We keep hearing the term people with mental disorders. What does that actually mean? And what exactly is a mental disorder?
Good question. People with mental disorders mean anyone living with a mental health condition. It can affect how you think, feel, and act. This covers a lot from depression and anxiety to bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, and more.
Right, mental disorder is a health issue that messes with your thoughts, feeling, and action, and can make daily life feel like climbing a mountain. It's not just being sad or scared, it's much deeper than just a series of broken leg or a fever. That's so true. And behind the biggest challenge is often a big stigma. In Indonesia, people still use words like crazy or even say someone is a push. Sometimes families hide their relatives away or even tie them up, thinking it's the only way. It's a breaking and it's making recovery so much harder.
Absolutely. Stigma is a huge problem. People are pushed away, sometimes even look up and often don't get the help they need. It's like trying to grow up playing in the park, in the dark. Nobody can drive that way.
And it's not just here, in somewhere country, there are still chapters of group the great metal claims might allow them to pass out. Instead in treating a health problem, they say you just need to pray more or trust God and you'll be healed. Sometimes people are even treated for exhaustion without eating really mental health. Can you make people even ever more about? Let's talk about what actually causing mental illness. Yoma, is it just the thought or the terror?
It's not just the black. Three are three big reasons: biology, psychology, and social stuff. Think of it like baking a cake. Sometimes it's your genius, sometimes it is what life throws at you, and sometimes it is the world around you.
Can you break those down for us?
Sure. First, biology factor. This is about genetic and the body. For example, a cerebral imbalance in the brain, a family history of mental illness, or even a serious physical illness can play a part. Second, psychological factor. This include things like stress trauma, long-term stress, and sensitive personality, or life experience like losing someone you love. And third, social factor. This is about what's happening around you, money problems, family fights, bullying, or being left out. All these things can pile up and trigger mental health issues.
So, it's just not are in your hand. There are no restrictions. We try to work with people every day. What type of stigma do they face most?
Sadly, in Indonesia, people with mental disorders are often seen as dangerous or possessed. I once did a survey on campus. 70% of students say they were scared to be around someone with a mental disorder. That's how strong the stigma still is, even among educated people.
That's shocking. How do people deal with the kind of treatment?
It's really hard for them. I know someone who was let out or at work after the coworkers found out she had bipolar disorder. They found his she might explode at any moment, which is just not true. She is actually super responsible and takes her treatment seriously. The hardest part is people saying things like, you just need to pray more or you're not grateful enough. That's not helpful. It just makes me feel worse.
Let's dig a little deeper. We heard a lot about bipolar disorders and depression, but what really happening inside the brain? And what about things like ADHD or even multiple personality? Are those mental disorders too, or is there more to the story?
Good question. Let's start with bipolar disorder and depression. From a medical point of view, both are not disorder, and they are linked to real change in the brain. Bipolar disorder is all about extreme mood swings. Sometimes people feel super high and full of energy. This is called mania or hypomania. Other times they crash into deep sadness or depression. It's not just being moody, it's about real chemical change in the brain.
So it's not just a up of snap or profit, there is science behind it.
Exactly. Depression, on the other hand, is a long-lasting feeling or deep sadness and loss of interest. It's not just a bad day. Doctors look for symptoms like trouble sleeping, change in appetite, and feeling hopeless for at least 2 weeks before calling it depression. Both bipolar and depression often need treatment like therapy or medication, just like any other health problem.
What about medication? I see so many people online say, I can focus my mood. I have ADHD. Is ADHD a mental health disorder?
That's a good question. ADHD stands for Attention Deficit Hyperactive Disorder. Is actually a neurodevelopmental disorder, not a mental illness. That means it's about how the brain develops, especially with focus, self-control, and organization. Kids able with ADHD around dyslexia or daydreams. Their brain really work differently. It's not the same as depression or bipolar, but I can still make life fun.
And what about multiple personalities? I feel like I love to show this, but what does the real story?
You are talking about dissociative identity disorder of the individual. It's very rare, but movies make it look so common and often scary. In real life, the idea usually comes from severe trauma, often in childhood. People with the idea have 2 or more different identities or alters. That hate turns being in control is not threatening or acting. It's a real and complex condition, and most people with the idea are not dangerous at all.
To sum up, bipolar and depression are mood disorder with real brain change. ADHD is a neurodevelopmental disorder of the brain, focus and control. And DID is a rare trauma-related condition, not something you just catch or see everywhere, like the movies. Okay, that really just is up. No, let's talk about something very serious. Self-harm and suicide. How do they relate to mental health?
Self-harm and suicide are often linked to mental health struggles, but they are not the same thing. Many people who self-harm don't want to die. Instead, they use self-harm as a way to cope with overwhelming emotions or to feel something when they feel numb. It's like a way to stay alive by managing grief.
So self-harm being a pray for help, a way to handle intense feelings.
Exactly, but
but self-harm is also a risk factor for suicide. People who self-harm are more likely to have suicidal thoughts or attempts. Depression, anxiety, and other mental illness can increase distress. Sometimes people feel so overwhelmed and hopeless that they think suicide is the only way out.
That's heartbreaking, but is suicide always a blood thing to be done?
Not always. Many who consider suicide not actually want to die. They want relief from their pain. They may feel trapped, helpless, or like things will never get better. But with the right treatment, support, and time, many go on to live meaningful lives.
What things the most for if we worry about someone?
Look for things like very long mood, talking about feeling hopeless or worthless, withdrawing from parts or activities, giving away possessions, or talking about it. If someone self-harms or talks about suicide, it's important to take it seriously and help them get professional support.
Each like mental health is a complex mix of brain chemistry, life experiences, and support system.
Exactly. And many who struggle have more than one diagnosis, like depression combined with anxiety or behavior problems. Family involvement, trauma, and stress also play big roles.
So the best thing we can do is support and encourage people to get help. Thank you all for sharing an important info. It's important to understand there is something else to bring resilience around mental health, self-help, and suicide. Let's talk about social media and all the mental health info out there. It's a double-edged sword, right? What I'm wondering is how people share their stories on the other. It can make things worse.
Absolutely, social media can be lifeline for support, but it can also be a mindfuck. You see everyone's highlight reel and start thinking, why isn't my life like that? It's like comparing your behind the scenes to someone else's move trailer.
And don't get me started on cancel culture. One mistake and suddenly you're the feeling of doing. The kind of pressure can really mess with your mind. Ever celebrate like Britney Spears and Kanye West have been in the spotlight for their mental health, and the internet can do that.
But here a good side. Is even though the openness has an entity, the most mental health organization, they are not afraid to talk about anxiety, depression of therapy, really taking the chance to break the stigma. That's true, but there downside. With so much info online, it's easy to fall into the trap of self-diagnosis. Suddenly, everyone on TikTok thinks they have ADHD or depression after watching a 13-second video. It's like WebMD for your brain. 1 minute you're fine. The next you're confused. You need preparation.
Exactly. Self-awareness is great, and self-diagnosis can be useful. Online professional can really tell what's going on. Still, it's awesome to see how open Gen Z is about mental health. They are not just breaking the silence, they are smashing it.
And let's be real, even if influencers and people with creative influence have their own battles. Crisis agent has talked about postpartum depression and even with her friend. She's still human.
The key experience, use the internet for support and learning, but don't skip your life how what you need. And remember, every TikTok and Instagram then a diagnosis. Let's talk about our question. Some people think those with mental disorders deserve the peace in the community. What the truth?
It's complicated. If someone's mental illness isn't treated, they might act in a ways that seems strange, like talking loudly or to themselves and wondering. This can make people uneasy, but most people with mental disorders are not dangerous. Fear comes from not understanding and not having the right support in place. What been your biggest challenge? People often think I'm faking or just being dramatic. What I really need is understanding, not judgment. I'm lucky to have a good support system, but not everyone does.
It took me ages to ask for help because I was scared of being judged. But therapy and education really help. Mental health is a marathon, not a sprint.
Now, let's start with someone really inspiring. Richa, you are a big fan of Novi Pratini, a real champion for mental health. What makes you so special to you?
Novi is amazing because she's honest and caring. She's not just talking about mental health, she's out there helping people who are often injured. She spreads stigma herself but keeps fighting for others.
For those who don't know, Novi is a observer, difference of cycles. She was gently and stigmatized, but from home therapy, medicated and family support, now she helps others find hope too. What's her biggest challenge?
Definition stigma. People call her an attention seeker or say mental illness is a curse. Some parents say she's possessed or just needs more faith. She spreads rejection, but keeps going, even working with lawmakers to push for better mental health policies.
Novi's stories prove us that recovery is possible, and that one point can make the difference. Let's get practical. What helps you heal and move forward?
Be kind to yourself. If you mess up, let it go. If social media makes you feel worse, take a break. I read down one thing I feel each day, progress, not perfection.
Talk to someone you trust, and remember, therapy is not just for crisis moment. Sometimes it's just nice to talk to someone outside your circle.
Sit small, realistic goals. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Healing isn't a straight line, but every step counts.
Let's go to a very fair around. What one thing you wish you will tell your younger self?
Don't compare you behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reels.
It's okay to ask for help. Everyone needs someone sometimes.
You don't have to have it all figured out. Progress, not perfection.
Any last word for our listener?
Everyone on their own journey, don't let comparing yourself to others stop you from growing.
You matter. Don't let anyone else standards define you. Even public figures have struggle.
Feeling insecure is normal, but don't let it ruin your life. You're stronger than you think.
This conversation really opened my eyes. Thank you for all sharing your story and wisdom. Remember, asking for help is sign of strength.
Thank you tuning into Mental Health Voice. Take care of your mind, be kind to others, and don't be afraid to speak up.
Best wishes for your mental health for all of us.
Thank you guys.